Welcome back, teachers. This is a quick demo to communicate the guidelines for setting up your gradebook. This particular refresher is for elementary school teachers only. If you are not an elementary school teacher, please close this video and select a different refresher that's specific to your course. In this video, we're going to cover how to set up your categories and your grade setup to make sure your grades are calculating as expected on progress reports and report card. First thing I want to draw your attention to is the class pane in the upper left-hand corner of your PowerTeacher gradebook. You need to select the class that you are teaching that you're going to set up your grades for. If you do not see any classes here, you can select the drop-down and make sure that you're either on current classes or the current term. If you've picked current classes and you still don't see any courses listed in the class pane, then please contact your data manager to make sure that your sections were set up correctly. Once you've selected the appropriate course, go down to the categories pane, which is in the lower left-hand corner. For elementary school, you're going to have one category this year, and that's consistent for everybody, and it's different than the 13-14 school year. To add the category, you're going to click the plus sign. The name of the category is assignments. And you can abbreviate. You can give it a color if you want. Out of points possible, you want that to be out of 100. And click OK. Since we're not going to use the other categories at all, it's best to go ahead and delete those to reduce confusion later on. So to delete a category, you would click on it, click the minus, and confirm the delete. Just going to work through those others really quickly. Now you're left with one category. The next thing we're going to do is set up your grades. So I'm going to click on the tab that says Grade Setup. And here are our reporting terms. F1 is your final mark. It's how your overall grade for the class is going to be calculated. Q1 through Q4 are your quarter terms. Those are the grades that are going to show up on the report card. Note the dates in the start and end column. So any assignment that you enter between the date ranges in these two columns, that's where the grade is going to go. So if I'm trying to add an assignment that I want to count for first quarter, but the date that I'm using is October 31st, it's going to automatically put that grade into quarter 2. So I've got to be careful that when I'm adding assignments, I look specifically at the date range to make sure that the grades are feeding into the quarter that I expect it to. The first term that we're going to set up is your overall final mark. So I want you to click the arrow so that your detail screen shows up at the bottom. And you need to calculate F1 final grades using category weights. And this is different than the 13-14 school year. So we're going to calculate final mark with category weights, and we're going to add a category. And that category is assignments. And click OK. And the weight is 100. And save. So it saves at 100%. What this is going to do, since all of our assignments are going to be in the assignment category, the way it's going to calculate your final grade is add up the total number of points earned by the student and divide that by the total number of assignments you have in your grade book. So there is no weighting for any quarter or any particular assignment. It's all averaged equally. So the next thing we're going to do is set up your quarter term. So under Q1, you're going to hit your arrow. you're also going to set up category weights. And you're going to set it up the same way you did your final term. So this time we're going to add a category. Click on assignments. Click OK. Change the weight to 100 and save. Now I want this in quarter 2 through 4, but we have a handy feature called copy that prevents me from having to do this by hand. So I can click on copy, and I'm going to pick Q1, and I want to copy that down to Q2, Q3, and Q4. Click Next and Finish. So now when I click on Q2, it has the exact same setup as Q1. What is going to happen is whenever you calculate report cards for the first quarter, it's going to look at the assignments between the start and end date of that quarter, and it's going to average those up. Quarter 2 is the same thing. It's going to look at all the assignments that were entered in that date range, and that average is going to be the report card grade for quarter 2. Same for quarter 3 and quarter 4. The final mark is every single assignment lined up together. That's how we want your grades to calculate. Now if you have more than just one course, you're going to have to go in and individually set this up, or you can copy, but this time you would copy to another class instead of within this class. So you can copy your grading preferences, but if they are common amongst all the classes that you teach. So I hope this helps. You should be receiving help from your school to make sure that this is set up correctly. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask your principal or your data manager, or you can contact me. This is Amanda Richardson up at Central Services. My email address is arichardson@bcswan.net. And if you feel like that this was a little bit too quick for you, I'm going to try to get these directions out in hard copy as well. If you feel like you need additional help with your grade book, you can go to the ncsys.org website and go to Training, Recorded Refreshers, and you can watch the gradebook webinar, and this would answer any more specific questions that you might have regarding your gradebook in general. I hope you found this helpful, and best of luck to a great school year.